Well, hello and welcome, friends, to my daily diary. I'm going to tell you today what I did from Sunday, April 23rd through Friday, April 28th of 2023. And it mostly involved being at the Heartbeat International Conference in Louisville, Kentucky, where I speak each year. But let me go through day by day, hour by hour, because that is part of my accountability to you and to the whole public, part of our way of really celebrating. I love what I do and celebrating it, thanking God for it, and thanking you for your support that makes it possible. Sunday the 23rd was a day I was here at my headquarters, and it was one of the days that, being this time of month, if you watch my daily diaries, you know that every month when it comes around the 23rd, 24th, 25th of the month, I start the detailed planning for the following month. By that time, all the trips are in place, basic comings and goings are in place, but I need to plan for very specific things that need to get done that month. So a bulk of the day was spent looking at the month of May, what my duties will be and opportunities and the doings of Priests for Life and the pro-life movement. It was also a day, of course, being a Sunday, extra time, prayer, church, worship, and so forth, but also here in the TV studio, doing some work, taping various segments for the week, especially because it was going to be a week of travel. I spent time in here taping the daily scripture reflections and other things needed for the week, right, like I'm doing now, sitting here in front of the cameras. As far as work at my desk, it involved emails relating to things such as preparing and getting updates from the staff about research on SEO, search engine optimization for our web pages, research that I have some of my team doing to help with the elections of 2023 and 24. Court research on some pro-life cases that are making their way through the courts, preparing for some reaction videos, as you may have seen on our social media sites, address services for our mailings, getting some communications from staff about that. That's when you get the person's new address if they've moved. Some communications in regard to the Satanist conference taking place this weekend. We were preparing some commentary about that, alerting people and calling them to prayer in regard to that. Communication from and about leaders that we are gathering together for leadership meetings, national pro-life leaders that we help to mobilize. Communication with staff about the expiration of certain website domains. We have hundreds of them. We have to renew some of them every month. Legislative activity going on in Washington, D.C. in regard to the ERA and other ways that the Democrats are trying to push abortion. We're alerting people about all that, and approval of a press release. In the afternoon or latter part of the day and into the evening, I was able to do some doggy sitting. We have our mascots, our Priests for Life mascots, and actually these are doggies that belong to our executive director. Sometimes you see them on our social media posts, and our executive director was doing some traveling, and I was able to watch the dogs and get some quiet work done there on Merritt Island here in Florida for a few hours Sunday into the afternoon, late afternoon and evening. So that was the 23rd of April. Monday the 24th. Here at my desk in the morning, the usual administrative meetings in the morning, staff briefing at 8:30, getting on my email and working on things such as giving some mass intentions or arranging for some mass intentions to be given to our priests. Policy videos from President Trump, making sure we have our hands on all of those and getting those out to more people. Approving and sending out of parish facts. Pro-life strategy groups, getting them on board. There's a couple of different strategy groups that we are working to network with other strategic groups, and some of them it takes a little more time to persuade them that there's other things going on outside of their own circles. But we're getting there. We're building those bridges between these leaders. Videos for YouTube, getting those improved and disseminated to more people. Always working on upgrading our accounts and our channels. An action alert, getting ready an action alert to send out to our list, and media requests, dealing with those, and also looking at ways we can help Life Dynamics after the sad passing of Mark Crutcher. I met with various visitors that came to our office. That's always nice when people come and visit Priests for Life. We have our staff give them a tour, and I met with, always look to meet with them myself. Did a noontime interview with former High Wizard of Satanism, Zachary King, now a fervent pro-life Catholic. And we taped that interview midday on Monday the 24th. A little more work at my desk. Then I welcomed here to our headquarters Grace Saldana from Right Side Broadcasting Network, and we taped the program here in our studios after I gave her a tour of our facility. And then shortly after that, after a little more work on my desk on some of the things I just mentioned, I was picked up for the airport and went to Orlando Airport. On the way, I did some emails on my laptop. We got to the airport and met up with 3 of our team members, including our executive director and executive manager. And we had checked in. We had lots of luggage because we were bringing our exhibit booth and lots of pro-life materials to the Heartbeat International Conference. We checked in to the hotel there at the airport because our flight was very early the next morning. So we stayed at the airport and had dinner there together, and all went to bed early. Tuesday, the 25th of April. This was the day we got on our early flight to go to Louisville, Kentucky. And on the plane, did some preparatory work for the conference and attended to some other emails. Having the Wi-Fi on the plane is always such an important tool. Think back to the days when we didn't even have that, and now it's, of course, indispensable. But we got on our plane, we made it to Louisville, Kentucky, checked in at the hotel, started greeting these pregnancy center directors. There was 1,400 of them coming together, and, of course, so many of them we've known for many, many years. As we were doing all that, getting from the airport to the hotel and checking in, I had a phone meeting with our communications director on some media interviews that are being planned for the coming days. So did some business there on the way. Once we checked in, we got our booth set up, and beautiful, beautiful booth with all kinds of pro-life materials. Greeting people, I went around in the exhibit area to each and every one of the other, 30 or 40 displays, and meeting again with many of these people that I know and have known for years. And then got together and had the dinner in the evening with the team, and again just meeting the people as they were coming for the conference. Wednesday the 26th of April, it was a conference day. But some of the work I did starting early in the morning on my computer involved a new app showing the development of the unborn child. You're going to be amazed when you see it. We'll be announcing more about that. Wait a second. Let's see here. Oh, yes. These were things that also applied to Tuesday's email work. The media firm that helps us out, communications with them, approval of a travelogue, mailing from Priests for Life, abortionist Carhart, late-term abortionist who passed away. I was dealing with stories in regard to that. Upcoming book about pro-life leaders who helped reverse Roe. I'll be part of that book. Did some communication about that. Translation of things into Spanish, working with some translators. Priests for Life Frontlines, the website talking about all our travels. Progress in North Dakota on pro-life legislation, emails about that. Prospecting, that is sending out new mailings to people who are not yet donors. More about the interview with Zachary King, getting that out there, and more appointments about media interviews going into Wednesday the 26th. data team planning meeting. Our data team meets regularly, calls to and from priests who are expressing their support, mass intentions for those priests, and help with Abby Johnson's movie that's being planned right now called Unthinkable. I'm part of that movie, and we had some communications in regard to that. The conference got underway. I connected with War Room with Steve Bannon in between networking at the conference. Went down to our booth, lots of people approaching our booth, getting pro-life materials. I interacted with the crowds there. I've continued visiting the different exhibit booths that other groups had there, interacting with the leaders, arranging for some of these leaders to come to our leadership meetings. That was an important aspect of this on Wednesday the 26th. 12 noon, I kind of broke away from the crowd. I had a half-hour interview with the Christian Post. They wanted to know about the Heartbeat Conference and also about the Satanism Conference that was coming on the heels of that. Then I went back to the booth, and then Janet and I had our workshop. So we gave a presentation called Roe Reversed, Impact on Centers, that is the pregnancy centers, and on youth. So we presented for about an hour and a half, took questions, interacted with the pregnancy center directors who came to our workshop. Always fun, always great. We went back to our exhibit booth, interacted with people the rest of the afternoon, and then there was a banquet in the evening featuring all the international. There were 24 countries that were represented there with their pregnancy centers. Just a fantastic day and evening. Thursday the 27th, another full day of the conference. Actually began with some work at my desk and my computer, working, as I mentioned, with our public relations media firm, helping us get more and more media. Then I also did some media on the Janet Ellis show. After I did some initial networking, I had an 8:40 a.m. interview with her on her program, American Family Radio. And then at the booth, meeting with people all day long, other leaders and people in the pregnancy center movement. What a refreshing and uplifting thing with my team that we did literally all day into the night. Did some work later in my room because there was a break. The conference attendees were able in the afternoon to go to things in Louisville that they might want to see. So I went back and interacted. I had several hours of staff interaction, phone calls, meetings, and so on in regard to all our ongoing projects for pro-life, and reconvened with my team for dinner and evening networking. Then came Friday, the 28th of April, on my computer, doing things regarding permissions for people to use the images that we have of the unborn child and of the aborted child, preparing for a leader's visit to our office next week, preparing for an upcoming trip and approving different emails going out to our list. We had more networking with constant visits with people coming over to our Priests for Life booth, and discussions with leaders, and some exciting plans coming up for get-togethers and projects. So the morning was at our booth. Then Janet and I got an Uber, went to downtown Louisville to a TV studio, and we had an interview with TBN. Our friends there at Trinity Broadcasting Network wanted to talk to us about this Heartbeat Conference, and so we gave them an interview. Then we came back to our booth at the hotel. Then we had to start to pack our things up because we were flying out in the afternoon. So we packed our booth up, said goodbye to the various participants in the Heartbeat Conference, and then went to the airport. Got our plane, did work on the plane, meetings with one another, and then I rested. Actually, we had 2 flights, had to connect through Atlanta, and being that these flights were taking us later into the night, I rested on the flights home. We landed about midnight, and then had to come over to my office. So got to bed about 1 a.m. But in those cases, resting on the planes helps a great deal. That's what I did, the 23rd to the 28th of April of 2023. Thanks for watching these daily diary updates. I just want to say to those that You are my friends, and hopefully these are an encouragement to you. But to those who out there who are critical of me and Priests for Life, well, let me see your daily diary videos and then we'll talk. God bless you, friends. Talk to you soon.